What does it mean when my ex watches my Instagram stories but doesn't follow me? What does it mean when they watch any of my social media and don't follow me? Equally, what does it mean when you watch their social media and you don't follow them? What is all that about? So let's look at this from a drug addict's point of view. One of the biggest risk factors to getting addicted to any drug is easy access to that drug. When it's easier to get a drug, we're more likely to try it. In trying it, we're more likely to get addicted to it. That is a quote from the book Dopamine Nation. In other words, it's very easy to become addicted to something that's easily accessible. And when something is easily accessible, it's very easy to scratch that curiosity itch. Or maybe there is a hidden meaning and your ex wants something more. Whatever it might be, stick around and find out, and I'll do my best to explain it to you and get you through this. My name is Nick, this is The Love Fix, and I'm inviting you to take a walk with me on the path to recovery. If you need my help to just get you over the line, to get you through this horrible, savage pain that is a breakup, below is the link to my booking page that will book you in for a coaching session. Go and hit that. Book yourself in and I'll be more than happy to work with you. I've worked with over 500 clients now and there is no shortage of heartbreaks out there, unfortunately, but I'm trying to help people get through it one heartbreak at a time. If that's not enough for you, come and join my Facebook group. The link's also below, but you can type in the Love Fix Breakup Recovery in Facebook and hit join. Also, my podcast on Spotify, Breakup Recovery with the Love Fix, where I really get into the nitty gritty of relationships, dating, and how to recover from breakups. Okay, let's get into it. So your ex has savagely dumped you, but you notice every day when you check your stories that their name keeps appearing on your stories, that they're checking you out. Maybe they're leaving likes, or even maybe they're hearting you and you're thinking, what the fuck does this mean? This person doesn't want to be with me anymore, but they keep looking at my social media. Well guys, it could mean something. It probably means nothing, but let's assume it does mean something. Now, as I said before, it's very easy to access information today, and with that ease of access, it creates a new problem. It creates some kind of weird addiction where we can't stop gaining information about someone. This person, your ex, they spent a long time with you and they will be curious sometimes to what are you up to? Are you dating already? Did you move on that quickly? Because they're looking for validation about their decision about dumping you. They're looking for, okay, did I do well? Did I get this right? And also, social media gives you a hit of dopamine all the time, and we're just not built for the amount of dopamine that we receive from social media. So it can become habit, it can become an addiction. And equally, you might be doing the same. You might be looking at their socials and looking at their Instagram and looking at their stories, which I highly encourage you to stop because it's just going to hurt you. But let's get back to the dumper. If they are constantly looking, it could mean a few things. It could mean that they're just curious. It could mean that they're concerned about you and they just want to make sure that you're okay. On the other hand, it could just mean they're a nosy bastard and they've got nothing better else to do. Or maybe they have started dating someone new and they're comparing like for like. They want to make sure they've made the correct decision. And it might be some dumper's remorse, which I've done a video on that before. If you go and search on YouTube, the Love Fix dumper's remorse, I go through that, where the dumper can jump from relationship to relationship and actually get, it's like buyer's remorse. It's like you go and spend a lot of money on something. It looked great on the TV. It looked great in the ads. You buy it, you get it home, and it's not as great as you think it was going to be. Because what we're really looking at and anticipating how we think that thing will make us feel. And that's a similar thing to what happens with your ex. They are looking at your socials in anticipation of how they think it will make them feel, or they're comparing you to someone else in anticipation of how they think it's going to make them feel. So we need to try and step back from that and just be rational about it and just say to ourselves, okay, they're looking at my socials. Who gives a fuck? I've got better things to be getting on with. And guys, I know you want it to mean something, and it's okay. I've been there. And in fact, when my ex broke up with me back in 2020 and I got my TV back and I went onto my YouTube She'd been listening to love songs and heartbreak songs and stuff like that. And I was like, what does it mean? What does it mean? And I had to step back and unfuck myself. And all it meant was maybe she was going through a tough time and she was just listening to a song with those kind of words. That's it. Doesn't mean necessarily that she wanted to get back with me, or maybe it did. I don't know. She did it in the end, so I would assume that maybe she did reconsider it, but ultimately decided it was the best decision not to get back with me. And to be fair, I think that was the right decision. I've moved on and I've got a much better life and I'm in a much better relationship now and things are going well for me. So, we can't put too much stock into it, but we do have to look at what is the truth of the action. The truth of the action is they're looking at your socials. And without them saying to you, hey, look, I've been looking at your socials because I missed you, because I wanted to see what you was up to, because I still love you. Make the assumption that it means nothing. But also, my friends, you can unfollow them or you can hide them so they do not pop up on your socials, because the more you look at it, the more it's going to drive you crazy. You get into this self-perpetuating feedback loop or vicious cycle where you get curious, you pick up your phone, you look on their socials, or you look to see if they've seen your story. Now, if they have seen your story, you're going to get a bump of anxiety. And if they haven't looked at your story, you're going to get a bump of anxiety. Either way, it's going to make you feel shit. You put your phone down and you pick it up literally 10 minutes later and you repeat the cycle about 30 times a day. That is not a good place to be in, my friends, and it sucks balls. So what does it mean? It means they're looking at their social media. It means they're looking at your social media until they actually reach out and say, hey, I really miss you. I made a mistake. I still love you. I want to work on this. I'm going to go to therapy and I hope you go to therapy and maybe we can do couples therapy together and let's work on building a new relationship. Until then, my friends, it really doesn't mean that much. It means maybe they've got an addiction to social media. It means maybe they're just nosy. It means, okay, maybe they've got questions, but unless they reach out and say, hey, I want to talk, it really doesn't mean that much. So my friends, we have to get to a stage, and I get how painful it is. I really do. I've been there, and look, you need to have your pain right now. It's okay to have your pain. It's okay to sit there and say, look, this fucking sucks, and I'm hurt, and I'm grieving someone that is still alive, and that is really, really tough. But I'm not saying you should move on right now. That's quite impossible. We don't just move on, but I'm encouraging you to try to move forward. Try to take a positive step that's going to help you with your recovery. Because otherwise you're going to sit there for the next 6 to 12 months asking the same questions and getting no answers. So start asking better questions. Maybe ask the question of, why am I so concerned about their activities? Why am I so hooked up about them looking on my socials? Why is that bothering me? Why can't I put my phone down? Why am I addicted to this vicious cycle that I'm in? The longer you remain hyper-focused on asking the wrong questions, the longer it's going to take you to ask the right questions. And the reason you're avoiding asking the right questions is because you're avoiding the pain within yourself. It takes an incredible amount of energy to avoid ourselves, and it's exhausting. And I was saying this to a client of mine recently, and I told her this, that the more you look on his social media, the more you are avoiding how you feel about it. And she took that advice, she put the socials down, and a few weeks later she came back and said, look, I'm feeling better. I'm not over it, but I'm feeling better. I can function. I can go to the gym now. I'm eating well, and I'm making new friends, and I'm making a new life for myself. And all it took was for her to ask a different question of herself and to not avoid her pain, rather use her pain as a mentor, as a teacher. And that's all I've got for today. I hope this has helped. You are going to be okay. You will be fine. It's going to get better, I promise you. I will see you on the other side.